Let me show you what happened when a client came to me and said, I want to visit Hobbiton. That simple request turned into a 14-day custom itinerary covering 23 Lord of the Rings film locations across both the North Island and the South Island. Perfectly timed bookings, backup plans for bad weather, and a budget that came in under what they expected to pay. Hi, I'm Rocky D'Amico. I'm a certified travel advisor, and in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain and showing you exactly what I do when you hire me to plan your fantasy travel adventures. No secrets, no hiding the process. You're about to see how the magic gets made. So let's dive in. Here's what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to walk you through my entire process from start to finish, from the moment you contact me to the moment you're boarding your flights to Middle Earth. You'll see what happens during our initial consultation, how I research and build your custom itinerary, kind of the whole booking process and what I handle behind the scenes. You'll see what kind of support you get during your actual trip, and I'm going to show you real examples of my actual planning system. A sample itinerary I created, the tools I use, the real deal. Now, why am I showing you all of this? Two reasons. First, I want you to understand the value you're getting. A lot of people think travel advisors just book flights and hotels. That's not even close to what I do. So I want you to kind of see what actually works and that goes into the planning of your trip. And then second, transparency builds trust. If you're going to work with me, you should know exactly what you're paying for and what to expect. So no fluff, let's get into the process. Step one is the free consultation. This usually takes 30-45 minutes. Usually it's a Google call or a phone call, whatever's kind of easiest for you. And the basic whole goal of this consultation is I just kind of need to understand what is your dream trip. So here's what I'm asking you during our consultation. One, what are your fantasy travel dreams? Are you a big Lord of the Rings fan and you want to go see Hobbiton? Are you a Harry Potter super nerd and you want to visit all the filming locations in both England and Scotland? Are you a Game of Thrones super fan and you're planning this whole European pilgrimage? Two, how much time do you have? Are we talking a week-long trip here? Are we talking 2 weeks, a month? This kind of determines how much we can realistically fit into that schedule. Then number three, I need to kind of know what's your budget. I don't need exact numbers, but I do kind of need to know like what is your left and right limits on this so I kind of can understand what we're working with. And then number four, I kind of need to know what kind of traveler you are. Do you want fully guided tour? Do you want a self-guided vacation so you can get out and go experience things on your own? Do you like fancy hotels or are you into more like boutique or B&Bs? And then I kind of also have to know what are your absolute must-sees while you're on this trip. I need to kind of understand what are the things that you cannot miss if you don't see anything else. And then the last thing I kind of need to know is what are your interests and hobbies? Because a lot of those things kind of give me a clue into what type of trip I can help you build so that it's customized just for you. Here's what happens after the call. After the call, I send you a follow-up email summarizing everything we discussed, and then I give you a quote for my planning fee. My planning fees range anywhere from about $100 for a simple 7-day trip or under to $300 and up for more complex multi-country itineraries. And I'm all upfront about this, no surprises. We actually talk about it during the call. If you do decide to move forward and pay my planning fees, then we move to step two. Okay, step two is where the magic happens. Research and itinerary building. This is the part that people don't realize takes so much of my time. When you tell me you want to visit Hobbiton, I'm not just Googling Hobbiton tours and calling it a day. Here's what I'm actually doing. First, I'm comparing multiple tour operators for a New Zealand Lord of the Rings trip. I might be looking at red carpet tours. They have exclusive Lord of the Rings access. Hassle-free tours, they're great for the North Island. I look at some other suppliers like Altitude Tours who have excellent South Island filming locations. Might look at Globus for full tour packages or some of the other companies that I use down that area. I work with a lot of local guides, so since I've worked with them in the past, I might compare itineraries I've used in the past and their pricing and the reviews to see if it's going to match up to something that could work for you. Second, I'm checking availability and timing. Hobbiton tours book out 3 to 6 months in advance. So I need to know, can we even get you into Hobbiton on the preferred dates? If not, do we adjust your dates or do we find alternatives? Do you want to do a dinner or a second breakfast? Third, I'm mapping out logistics. How long does it take to drive from Auckland to Hobbiton for you? Where should you stay that night? What if you want to add Tongariro in the next day to see Mount Duke? Is that realistic? Are we cramming too much in? And then fourth, I'm adding in the extras. I might be giving you restaurant recommendations, backup plans if it rains, maybe a lesser known filming location that I kind of heard you say or mention when you were talking about your trip. Giving you insider tips that I've learned from clients who've done the trips or times that I've been on the trips. This takes a lot of time. For a complex trip, let's say a 14-day Lord of the Rings adventure in New Zealand, this research phase can take me anywhere from 10 to 20 hours. I'm cross-referencing maps, I'm reading reviews, I'm checking weather patterns for your dates, and making sure the flow of your itinerary makes sense. Are you going from north to south or south to north? And then I start working on building your custom itinerary just for you. So after our consultation call, I'm going to put all the information that we talked about in this system. And so this system right here is the one I use for consolidating information, for booking trips, for putting all your stuff in one place. So you can see this one's named Epic Lord of the Rings New Zealand Vacation. You can see the overview, itinerary, tasks, and the notes that we take from our consultation call will go in here. And then you'll see things like background and travel preferences, trip requirements, activity interests, and must-see. So all those things that we talked about are going to be in there. And then from there, that helps me build this entire trip through that. So once I build the first draft of your itinerary, what I'm going to do is reach out to you and say, hey, your first draft is done. Let's talk about it. We'll schedule a Google Meet, phone call, something where we can go over it. Because what I want you to understand more importantly than anything else is why I selected the things that I did. I want you to know, hey, here's the reason I put this here and then this. Because if you just look at the itinerary, for what it's worth at face value, you're going to be like, why did Rocky put this here? Or why is this here? And then you might not understand exactly my rhyme or reasoning for doing it. But the important part, this is a collaboration. I tell you to take a few days, look things over, and then tell me kind of what your thoughts are. Do you want to change maybe hotels? Do you want to maybe reverse the order, move things around based upon all the information I've given you? On average, this takes, 1 to 2 to 3 times of revisions. Sometimes it's perfect on the first try. I've had a couple clients say, hey, I love this. No need to rework it at all. Let's run with it. And that's totally normal and expected. But once you approve the final itinerary, we move to step 4, which is bookings. Step 4 is where I completely take over booking everything for you. This is the part where you get to kind of sit back, relax, because Rocky's handling all your tours. I'm booking your Hobbiton tour, your Tongariro guided hike, your Queenstown Lord of the Rings location tour, everything. Accommodations, I'm reserving your hotels. I'm reaching out and making sure that we got the right beds for you, making sure they're in a good location and they fit your budget. Transportation, if you need a rental car, I'm arranging that for you. If you need domestic flights, if you're going to go from the North Island to the South Island and back, I'm making sure you have that, or maybe even the ferry if you're taking a rental car and going on the ferry. I'm making sure all your special experiences that you asked for. Maybe you wanted a special dinner, or in the case of one of my clients, you want me to help you arrange a, proposal on the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. All those little things are kind of what I do, so you can sit back, relax, and let the magic happen. And after I book everything, you're getting confirmation emails copied to you, so you can see in real time that things are getting locked in. And I'm also keeping a master document, my itinerary, everything with your booking numbers, contact information, how you're going to get a hold of these people just in case there's an emergency while you're on the tour. And maybe, it's 2 o'clock in the morning here, you're able to contact someone there in New Zealand, let's say, to make sure that this gets taken care of. And here's why this is valuable. When you book things yourself, you're juggling multiple websites, multiple confirmation numbers, reservation systems, all these different things, and something simple could honestly fall through the cracks. But with me, I try to keep everything well organized. I keep it all in one place so that you can look everything over and just kind of know with peace of mind, Rocky's got me taken care of. One of the benefits of working with me is I have a lot of supplier relationships because I've been to New Zealand, because I booked New Zealand so much. I know the tour operators, I know a lot of the hotels. So sometimes I can get you maybe early access, better pricing, maybe an insider experience that you couldn't get if you tried to book this on your own. Sometimes if the tour gets canceled or a hotel's double booked, I'm able to get you in where if you try to do it on your own, you might not be able to do that. So there is a benefit with working with someone who has done so many Lord of the Rings trips, so many New Zealand trips, so many, United Kingdom trips for Harry Potter. I've done so many of these that I have a very good process and trusted relationships. And I can't guarantee you I'm going to get you any extras, but sometimes sometimes they get thrown in just because of my relationship with these suppliers. Okay, so here's what a finished custom Lord of the Rings itinerary looks like on my end. So you'll see things such as flights, transfers, hotels, tours, rental cars. All of that's going to be listed in here. And this is, again, what I see on my side so that I can go ahead and properly make sure that everything is booked into place. Now, on your end, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the epic Lord of the Rings New Zealand vacation. You have the full itinerary, daily overview, the pricing. You're going to see kind of what everything's encompassing. Like you see here, day one, your flights. We know it takes a couple of days to get to Auckland when you factor in the time change. And then this is everything you see. So then as you click on something like this, you'll get the details of the hotel. So you kind of get a little bit more ideas. So what does your room look like? What are the property details? Some pictures. And this goes all the way down. So it captures every step of the trip so that you can get a good idea from start to finish of what your trip's going to look like. And again, this goes back into where we're able to kind of take a look at things and you can say, yes, I love this, or no, I don't like this. I want something a little bit different. But this is what it looks like on both my end and your end. So again, this is the user end and this is my end. So step 5 is support before, during, and after your trip. So before your trip, I'm going to send you an email somewhere about 30 days before you go with all your vouchers, emergency contact information, good to know information, packing lists, things like that. And then I'm also going to give you an opportunity to schedule a call with me. Because during that call, what I want to do is I want to pull up your itinerary and we're going to walk through everything step by step. So you know from the minute you get off the plane, who's picking you up or where you picking up your rental car. Do you know how to get to the first hotel? You know, when are you getting on the train to go from here to there? When do you need to be back at the airport for this? The entire process, start to finish. I want to walk through it all and make sure you have any of your questions answered, or if something pops up during it, you can ask me it on the spot. The reason I do this so far out is because usually you go through all this stuff, you're looking through everything, I've talked you through the itinerary, and then you're like, wait, hold on a second. Rocky mentioned this, but maybe he didn't mention this. Let me go ask and make sure I have this. So you still have some time before you go on your trip to ask any questions or do any follow-ups that happen afterwards. Then about 2 to 3 days inside your trip, I usually send you an email, just a check-in email, say, hey, how's everything going? Is there anything I can do to support you better? How's your trip going? And then a couple days after you return from your trip, I'm going to reach back out to you and say, hey, how did everything go? What did you love? What did you not love so much? What things could have been better? What things are you excited to share with everybody about? Just kind of want to get to know how your trip was, just so I can always make improvements to see what I could do better. Okay, so let's talk about what this all actually costs. I told you I charge a planning fee. It's based upon the complexity of your trip. So if it's 7 days or under, one country, it's $100. If it's from 1 week to 2 weeks or multiple countries, it's a $200 trip. If you start getting a little bit more complex, we're talking 3-4 countries and you're going for 3 weeks, then yes, it's probably going to be $300. And then anything more complex than that or longer than that, we can have a phone call and kind of go over what the planning fee will be. But what I want you to understand is like all of this stuff and what it's going and what you're paying for. This planning fee covers all the research, the itinerary building, the revisions, the ongoing support, all of that I just showed you. That's what's covered in this planning fee. I also earn commissions from the tour operators, the hotels, river cruise lines that I book with. This doesn't cost you anything extra. It's built into their pricing. It's whether they're getting it or they're splitting it with me. So you're paying for my expertise and service on top of what the commission is that I'm getting from those companies that comes in on the back end. And the good thing, the travel advisors often save you more than their planning fee costs. I prevent costly mistakes. Sometimes I'm going to get you better value for your money. I save you dozens of hours of research time. Shoot, one client told me your planning fee pretty much paid for itself when you told me you can get into Hobbiton during that sold out period. That's the kind of value I aim for. So there you have it. That's what a travel advisor actually does. Like I said, it's not just booking flights or hotels. It's in-depth consultation to make sure that I understand your dream trip. It's the hours of research that we put in to make sure we have options. It's getting you a custom itinerary built with insider tips, handling all the bookings and logistics, the ongoing support before, during, and after your trip. Also, you can focus on getting excited about your adventure instead of sitting here dreading it or worrying about the stress of planning. If this sounds like something you want for your Lord of the Rings tour, your Harry Potter adventure, your Game of Thrones pilgrimage, whatever fantasy trip you're dreaming about, here's what you need to do next. Step 1, book a free consultation with me. Like I told you before, it's free. We're going to talk about your trip, your budget, your timeline. There's no pressure, no commitment, no obligation. My link is in the description. Step 2, I want you to download my free Lord of the Rings New Zealand travel guide. Even if you don't hire me, this guide will help you plan an amazing Lord of the Rings trip. It's also in the description. And 3, please subscribe to this channel. I'm sharing more videos about fantasy travel destinations, travel planning tips, behind the scenes look at this wild and crazy job I have. So I want to say thanks for letting me pull back the curtain today. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you get to plan your dream trip someday. I'm Rocky D'Amico from Flights and Fables. I hope you have safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.